Good morning. A very typical Monday coupon yesterday. Very tough to unpack. Empoli Lecce 0-0 at half time. 2.5 the favourite match, so arguable whether you'd lay that draw second half. All dependent on the in-play stats. Banda take the lead for Lecce, and a Raffia own goal of 71st minute. I wouldn't have had a strong opinion here at all. Cagliari and Sassuolo, was this down to the red card? 2.55 the favourite. A lead for Sassuolo and a red card 62nd minute. So that was your potential angle in. Now remember, when you're using websites such as, or not websites, but the app Footballtradingprofits.club. And it's spelt Football24. Make sure you download that app, because that will give you an update of scores as they come in, and importantly, red cards as well. So the Sassuolo red card was the crucial factor in changing the complexion of that Cagliari Sassuolo match. So you ignore the 2.55, which suggests it's too tough to call. Do you react to the red card? Granada and Atletico Bilbao. I would have expected Atletico Bilbao to either win here. Good equaliser for Granada, but no real angle with my favourite side scoring first. Iñaki Williams. Rayo Vallecano Celta Vigo 0-0. 2.7 the favourite. Do you really take the 0-0 on in that match? It was just the way the cards were dealt yesterday. 2.5 the favourite, 2.55, 2.7. I keep going on about this. The market's telling you these matches are too tough to call. So it has to be something special for you to get a trade out of them. For example, a red card there. Pompey against Bolton. Don't think there's any real surprises there. And the under-21s, as I keep repeating, over 2.5 goals, particularly in this professional development league. As I showed you yesterday in the review preview video, we just have a look. A quick look at the head-to-heads, and you'll see a whole raft of both teams to score and over 2.5 goals for both teams. Just give that a cursory check in your other English professional development league matches, and you will see the clues. Under 21s mostly there. There was a Premier League Cup. I don't know if the over 2.5 goals will translate to that, but they did in all bar one match yesterday. And again, you can have a quick look just to see whether these sides have a reputation for over 2.5 goals consistently enough, albeit not in cup competition. You can see there 1, 2, 3 out of 5 over 2.5 goals. Is that good enough for you? Certainly, Watford and Millwall, nearly 100% over 2.5 goals in recent matches for that lot. That was about it, really, yesterday. Very, very quiet day. I couldn't really see anything else of any great interest. It's a typical post Elite League, pre-Champions League Monday. Well, we're heading off now to the Champions League. Now, it's vital that you make sure you're familiar with the permutations. Now, I'll put the link here in the research, and I've basically recorded what it says here for you in the research. Ignore dead rubbers, as we do it in the end of season matches. Ignore dead rubbers. So in Group A, Bayern are through. Copenhagen will go through as runners-up if they beat Galatasaray, or if they draw and United don't beat Bayern. Galatasaray go through if they beat Copenhagen. Galatasaray finish third and enter the Europa League knockout playoffs if both they and United do not win. Man United would go through the round of 16 if they beat Bayern, and the other game is drawn. This is probably the death knell for Mr. Den Haag after a 3-0 mauling against Bournemouth. But you know why they lost to Bournemouth? Because they had a pre-Champions League match to distract them. So I wouldn't be pressing the sack button just yet for Den Haag. That's just the way it goes, pre-Champions League. But this is must-win territory. All will be forgiven if Copenhagen Galatasaray happen to draw and Man United win. Those are the matches. Group B, Arsenal are through. So dead rubber. PSV are through. Dead rubber. Okay. Lens and Sevilla just have a little squabble to work out who's going to go in the Europa League. Now, I would be favouring Sevilla here based on their reputation for enjoying the Europa League. PSV Arsenal leave well alone. Group C, Real Madrid are through to the round of 16 as group winners. So it's a complete and utter dead rubber for Real Madrid away at Union Berlin, who've only really got to look for Europa League football in third place. They have started to win Union Berlin at home in the Bundesliga, beating Mönchengladbach. So that's a very rare win. They've not had a win like that since the first two matches of the season. Napoli and Braga, plenty to play for. That's the one to focus on. Union Berlin and Real Madrid, a bit lukewarm really. Group D, Real Sociedad are through to the round of 16. Inter Milan are through to the round of 16. The only squabble between these two is who's going to finish first. Both sides won at the weekend, so not overtly distracted by this particular match. There is always that safety net for both teams that they know they're through. This is not a must-win, is it? It's a would like to win. It's not a must-win. Salzburg are unable to finish in the top two. Benfica are unable to finish in the top two. Again, this is a squabble for third place in Europa League football. Is that a big enough carrot for us to suggest this Salzburg-Benfica match? There's still plenty left in the tank. English Championship, part of a run of English League football this evening. And I'll be on hand to follow, well, just one match in the English League One suggests that there's cup matches somewhere. Indeed, we've got the English FA Cup today. Walsall, and that's it. Barnet, 2 odds on favourites in what looks a very tough coupon. FA Trophy, again, lots of lower tier sides and probable lack of liquidity. That's the issue there. So it's just a championship really of interest. Only one draw for Blackburn. Blackburn this season, 11th against 14th. They've played only 2 of 13th and lower, which is not enough to gauge playing 14th today. So we've got that problem with gaps in form. Gaps in form don't allow us to gauge how teams are going to get on against their opponents in similar positions. No win in 5 for Bristol City, coming into this in poor form. 7 of 8 goals scored away came second half for City, so they are to score. Highly likely to come second half. Huddersfield and Preston, 2.5 the favourite. Don't be a hero, man. Leave these unless there's extenuating circumstances, such as a red card, for instance. Rotherham and West Brom. Rotherham have scored in their last 10 at home. 24th against 5th in the league. You'd be favouring West Brom purely on that basis, playing bottom of the league. Scored in the last 8 and the last 7 away. They've not met 18th or lower, so we've got a gap in form there. Score draws for Rotherham. They're picking up far too many score draws, but it does suggest that they might be gettable if leading. They have scored in the last 10 at home, Rotherham, so let's hope they score first this evening. Stoke against the Swans. 2-0 nils and 4 consecutive defeats recently for Stoke. 2 consecutive home defeats. These two are on the wrong end of the table. Stoke are yet to play 12th to 22nd at home. They play 16th today. So we've got another gap in form, yet another gap in form. We normally see these gaps in form earlier in the season when there's fewer matches played, not necessarily in December. It can also infer that the side has had a tough opening campaign. If Stoke are yet to play 12th to 22nd at home, obviously it suggests any home matches have been played against top 12 sides, generally speaking. Swans are unbeaten home and away against 15th and lower, and they play 20th today. I'd be favouring the Swans just on that little bit of form at the end there, but evens for Stoke. The market disagrees with me. Watford and Ipswich, leave that to the in-place stats. If you wanted to have a quick look at these 2.4 and 2.5, the favourite matches, I would recommend just a little glimpse in the challenge table and in the patterns and sequences table. So let's do that for you for these 2.5, the favourite matches, which will be Huddersfield Preston and Watford Ipswich. So Huddersfield, Preston, and Watford, Ipswich. The market's telling you it's too tough to call. I don't tend to research these because I'll inevitably come to the same conclusion as the market makers. I can't pick a winner. Okay. So the challenge table might provide us with some clue. Just got to wait for the website to load. So recent form, we've got a touch of score draw itis for Huddersfield. Both teams are scoring. You'll see that in the streaks and sequences table. No winning 4 at home, scored and conceded in the last 4. As far as Preston is concerned, no real away pattern at the moment. Challenge table wise, just going to find the challenge table. It's got to load here. This is 21st against 9th, and you can see Huddersfield at home have only beaten the bottom 3. So that does not augur well for them today. Neither does the fact that they haven't scored that second goal against the top 14 at home. Preston themselves, well, they look quite good. Win against 20th, win against 23rd, draw against 24th away from home. Playing 21st today. So on that bare scrap of evidence, you would be favouring Preston. And we're going to have a look at Rotherham and West Brom. No, which was the other 2.4, the favourite? Watford and Ipswich. So a quick look at that. So you've got a fair idea now with Huddersfield and Preston. Slightly favour the away side, but you must respect the market. The market's telling you we can't pick a winner. Similar story, Watford and Ipswich today. So again, just a quick look in the current streaks and sequences and a quick look at the challenge table might provide you with an in. But there's always a reason why it's 2.4 the favourite. It's normally suggesting that you can make as equal and as valid an argument for both teams. Let's see if that's the case today. Well, I don't know why Ipswich aren't favourite. They've only lost 2 matches all season. But having said that, Watford have only 1 defeat since the 7th of October. Therein is your reason for the market being unable to split these 2 sides. You've got 3 wins in 4 for Watford at home. You've got an Ipswich winning the last 3 matches, winning 4 of the last 5. Only 2 defeats all season. But they have had a bit of a ropey patch, conceding 2 goals in 3 of the last 4 away matches without winning. Current streaks and sequences. The home side, Watford have scored in the last 8 at home, so watch out for that today. No real patterns for the away side. West Brom. Ipswich, sorry. Challenge table, 10th against 2nd. Again, we've got those gaps in form against the top 10 for Watford. They've only played 4th and 5th at home and drawn those matches. They have lost away to 1st and 3rd. Do we infer anything from that? As far as Ipswich is concerned, well, they only tend to do their losing against the top 5, so I don't know why Ipswich are not stronger favourite today. Is it down to that recent solidity from Watford, only the 1 loss in quite a while? So we've got a slight inkling towards Ipswich here. Look at Watford scoring 8 goals in the last 15 minutes of home matches. That could see them dangerous. 5-0 at half-time at home, only the 1 at full-time. So you've got a small glimpse into the Watford-Ipswich match, but it's, for me, historically, researching 2.4, 2.5, the favourite, is pointless. Sunderland and Leeds. This is a fantastic, interesting match. 6th against 3rd. Sunderland have lost to the top 2, but did beat 4th and 5th at home, so they can't be readily discounted. 9 wins in 11 for Leeds, newly relegated and slightly favoured by me, based on the newly relegated element. 2+ goals scored in the last 3 matches, no defeat in 7, 3 consecutive wins. 8 out of 11 goals conceded away come first half for Leeds. So if they are to concede, it's highly likely to be first half. I could see them fighting back. Both teams have scored in the last 4 at home for Sunderland. No draw in 10 at home. You might want to lay the late draw there. We've also got English League One. There's only 1 match. I thought there was going to be a whole raft of English League One, English League Two today, so I didn't look at it. But we can have a quick look. Reading against Oxford United. Again, Pay heed to the market. 2.3 the favourites, telling you it's perhaps not a match to focus on. We might get more out of the Champions League than we will out of Reading against Oxford. But do what we did in those other two matches. 2.4 the favourite. Just have a look at the recent form, the streaks and sequences, the challenge table. That might give us an idea of which of these two sides, Reading or Oxford United, are favoured this evening. The market slightly favours Oxford, 2.3 the favourite, but it's a very tentative insertion of favouritism for them at 2.3. Well, Reading have had a woeful run in September, but that's ended with 2 wins and a loss against Barnsley in the last 3 matches. Oxford, 2 losses and a draw in the last 3, failing to score in the last 3 matches. So they've just gone off the boil a bit, failing to score the last 2 away after scoring 5 in the prior 2 matches. Both teams have scored in the last 5 for Reading at home. Both teams have scored in the last 7 overall for Reading. No draw in 10 away for Oxford United, so you might want to lay any late draw. Challenge table. Let's have a quick gander. This is 23rd in the league, second from bottom, playing 6th. Now you can see against the top 12 for Oxford, for Reading, they have beaten 2nd and 3rd at home, which is very weird. They've scored 2 goals against 1st, 2nd and 3rd at home, but they lost against 4th and 7th. They're playing a 6th today, who did lose against 24th away from home and 18th away from home. So this is no gimme for them. That's probably why it's 2.3 the favourite. But generally speaking, the home side don't tend to beat top sides. So inconclusive for me. Goal scoring wise, there's no real strong angles there. So that's why it's 2.3 the favourite. I will see you throughout the day. It's not the most compelling coupon on the planet, I must be honest. And I don't really like staying up till 3 AM just for a set of 6 or 7 matches. But I will do so this evening. The English Championship looks as tough as old boots. Hopefully we'll get a trade or 2. We might get something out of the FA Cup and the FA Trophy this evening. Any other peripheral leagues? We've got Romania, Scottish Championship, FIFA World Club Cup begins. Al Ittihad 1.05 with the William Hill against Auckland City. Likely to see Man City there sometime. They'll be arriving probably at the semi-final stage, won't they? That tends to be the habit in that particular cup. So I'll see you throughout the evening. It's not the most compelling coupon on the planet. Just hope we can find an angle or 2. Champions League begins again tomorrow. And again, we go through the same process with the permutations. Make sure we're focused purely on sides who need to win. That's the dominant coupon tomorrow, along with the Czech Fortuna League. Mlada Boleslav, Česká Budějovice, some familiar names. English Championship continues tomorrow. FA Cup, just the one match. Stockport County, very strong favourite at home to Aldershot. That's really that, I think, tomorrow. So it's more Champions League football tomorrow. Winter Tour against Zurich. Zurich got us a nice play at the weekend. Absolutely dominated their match stats-wise. That's what we took the 0-0 on. So watch out if Zurich light up the in-play stats against Winter Tour tomorrow. Have a great day. See you a bit later for the Champions League, Championship and English League One.